Greetings and salutations. It is I, Professor Sick Cabro, here again with you to regale you with a little video and let you know that I'm still here. Last week I didn't post any content like I mentioned because I was kind of sick, and I'm still sick. I hope it's not that thing that went around a couple of years ago that finally got to me. One of those freaky, creepy variants, but I can still taste food, and I can still breathe, so I guess it's not some of that. It's just a mutated variation of the flu, I'm gonna say, but it's really been hitting me hard. But I am still here, still alive, still kicking as best as I can. Short of breath, mucus and cough, and a sore throat, but still here. Ha 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 ha. You can't beat me, you horrible virus, you. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. That was stupid. That's what I get for being too hubris. Anyway, I am here to regale you with a proper video of some things that were added to the collection recently. Yes, indeed. If you follow me in my social media, you have seen, hopefully you do follow me on social media. Please follow me on social media. I try to put good stuff in there. Please. But I do post some stuff, especially during this season, for spooky stuff that I wanted to do. And every year, for a while now, I set up for the channel DUI projects. Projects that, as you well know, I am a budget baller. Yes, indeed, I don't have enough money to go around, spending on Spirit Halloween or Spencer's expensive prices. But I am a horror fan. I like having horror props. So when you can't afford the high prices of props, you learn to make your own. And for a fraction of the price, all it takes is a couple of hours, a little bit of paint, a little bit of elbow grease. Ew, elbow grease. And you can make some project. It does take some practice, of course. But once you get the hang of it, it becomes a little easier, yes indeed. And it's fun to experiment. You might fuck up a couple of times. Oh, Lord knows. I fucked up a couple of times. But, again, with practice makes perfect, and eventually you'll get good at it. And, as you well know, it is well known from here to Timbuktu that one of my favorite horror franchises is Friday the 13th. Love Friday the 13th. Think it's one of the most consistently awesome and solid horror franchises. And that's thanks to our big boy himself, Jason Voorhees. Now, I like the Jason Voorhees mask. It's one of the most iconic masks. This was made. Yes, indeed. Got these at the Mexican Dollar Tree. And they sell those for, well, now they're about almost getting close to $2, but still about $1.50. And they're way better than your Walmart dollar hockey masks. Oh, just a little paint, cut this with some scissors, little paint and so on, and you get yourself a cool looking Jason mask. And this is actually, if memory serves me right, the first Jason mask that was done for the collection. Yes, indeed. So I've made DUI Macabre has made quite a few Jason masks through the years. And in this year, the project was to make the mask from Friday the 13th, Part 7. And, yes, one of my favorite masks, even though it is very damaged. My all-time favorite mask is Part 4, which is the first one that I did. The UI Macabre did. I'm breaking kayfabe here. God damn you. Whatever thing I got. Yes, but anyway, that's the one that had to go and be the first one in the collection, the Part 4. Then Part 3, then, what was done? The Joke Part 5, where one of those cheapo dollar Walmart masks was used to make the cheapo, not Jason mask. Then the Retro NES game mask was the other one, I think, that was made. And for this year, Friday the 13th Part 7's mask was the one to be done. And that one is not too hard. It does have the axe cut, and it also has a big chunk of the mask missing. And the colors of the mask throughout the movies change. Sometimes it's yellow. Sometimes it then turns kind of whitish. Like part 3 and 4 look yellow, but they get dirtier as the movies goes along. And then the chevrons disappear. And then it's yellow in part 6, but then turns kind of whitish in part 7. And then goes back to yellowish in part 8. I like the mask for part 8. I like the mask from part 6. But that one's easier to make because it's just a yellow mask with the axe wound and only one chevron. But I wanted to challenge DUI Macabro and actually make the one for part 7. And that was the end result. Like I said, the part 7 mask is a little wider for some reason. I guess it, being underwater turned it white. And it only has the one thicker chevron here, doing away with the ones on the sides. Has the axe wound and it has the big old damage here. And I don't know what you might say, but I think it turned out decent. Yes, indeed. Very decently. Yes, indeed. Here, yeah. There they are. So, I don't know. DUI Macabro, I think, did a pretty good job with this. Quite proud with the weathering. How the weathering looks nice and gooey and dirty. And how the chevron came out. The part 4 mask chevrons, because this was still the first attempt, were painted on. So they look kind of off kilter. And, but this one is red electrical tape. Red electrical tape was used for this one. So it looks a lot better. And, yes, I am very, very happy and proud with how this turned out. You might disagree, you might agree. Hopefully you agree, but yes. So this was the Jason project for 2025. This was going to be the one and done. But since it was relatively easy to make this one, well then, why not make the Tom Savini Jason mask from the video game? And, here in the grand old country of Mexico, they sell the white one and a black colored Jason mask. Because I just bought one of those for DUI Macabro and just did the same process of cutting the face. This one, in all the pictures that I saw, looked a little bit more jagged. So a little bit more jagged edges were done here. And then it has these 3 marks, which I'm guessing this is after Freddy vs. Jason. And Freddy did the... Or maybe it's after Jason goes to hell when Freddy grabs the mask and drags it to hell and he made these scratches. I don't know what these scratches are for. I'm going to say they were made by Freddy. And, yes, it's basically just a black mask with the same chevron and these scratches. And, also quite like it. This does have a little bit more texture, and this was done with a woodcutter. With a woodcutter, the scratches were done. Had to be very careful so I didn't go through the mask and, make some very deeper gashes that was needed. But yes, just 3 gashes with a woodcutter, and then these additional texture scratches were done with the same woodcutter. And it just gave it a black painting job. And finally took a lighter, just a regular old lighter, to give it some burn texture, because this is from hell. He came out from hell. So just a lighter to burn the paint, so it looks like it's burned. So also quite pleased with how this came out. Yes, indeed. Posted my zombie static prop, zombie Jason static prop that was done for the Spooky Shed, and that was displayed last year, and I thought it looked pretty cool. So, what do you think of this? Let us know. And the other prop that was in the project list for this year was to add to my Necronomicon collection. DUI Macabro did the Necronomicon from Evil Dead, or one inspired by Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Then, one of the other years, the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead remake was done. And I wanted the Necronomicon from Evil Dead Rise, which is a great movie. Love that movie. So, the project for this year was to make a Necronomicon from Evil Dead Rise. And here it is. This the Necronomicon from Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 has a distorted face. The Necronomicon from Evil Dead, the remake, is like a Stitch, kind of like the Hocus Pocus book. It has like skin that's Stitch and made like this. And this one has veiny veins all over it. And I looked at the behind the scenes feature for Evil Dead Rise, and they had these yellow things here. Another thing that I noticed later after doing is it has stitches here throughout the two edges. So I'm gonna have to give this to DUI Macabro to add those stitches. But yes, this was done with hot glue, just hot glue to make the veins and the little balls here, and then on the back. I didn't get a good look at the back, but I'm assuming it also has veiny veins. And the thing that was a little bit hard to do, but not too. It was hard. It wasn't hard to make it. It was hard to stick it in there. Were the teeth? The teeth were just done, and this is just a cereal box, a reinforced cereal box. Now I have to put a notepad or something. But yes, this does indeed open up. So I just have to stick in a notepad, and so yes, this is just for display. I actually have the OG Necronomicon there. But yes, the teeth were kind of hard to glue in here. Had to go over them on the outside and the inside. But they do move. This thing does open, and it kind of looks pretty cool. A little happy accident is that I turn on the black light, and the teeth actually glow in black light. This doesn't, but this really pops, and I thought that was pretty cool. So yes, now I have all three versions of the Necronomicon that I like. The Necronomicon from Evil Dead Remake, and Evil Dead Rise. There is another Necronomicon, the one from Army of Darkness, but that was I'm gonna have to R&D how to do that, because that one's a little bit more elaborate and complicated. And I don't particularly like that Necronomicon, oddly enough. I like the other designs, and the one from Army of Darkness is not particularly my favorite Necronomicon. Yes, indeed. But maybe I'll go crazy one day and do it last year. So yes, those were the DUI projects for Halloween 2025. What do you think? You think they came out okay? Do you think they came out like hot garbage? Let us know in the comments down below. But until I see you all again next time, this has been Professor Sicabro, thanking you and wishing you all, like always, a good evening.